away. We're live.
Awesome.
It will show up in the chat if people are on, and you'll be able to see in the counter the little ticker above you. If there are folks watching, I put welcome to the conversation. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I'm actually gonna, I wanted to scroll that. So we'll wait a few minutes and hopefully some folks will come on in the room.
Start the chat.
Hey, wait, I just moved that. I wanna, I'm still learning some things about this. You should be able to do the little scroll.
Welcome to the conversation. Please like. Yep, I can see it. Yeah.
Oh, there are two people on. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
If you're there, if you just maybe put your name in the chat and let us know who you are. If you have an account, maybe if you don't have an account, you might not be able to do that. But we thank you for joining us. We're gonna start momentarily. I had put in for 7:10. Oh, there's 3 persons. See, Jen, can you see the number of people?
Let's see here, guys.
And I'm gonna move this. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to begin momentarily. We're just waiting for a few more people to come in. I don't want you to miss my conversation with Jen, and also I call her Jen sometimes, but it's Jennifer. Miss Jennifer.
That is fine as well.
Thank you.
Yes, I can see the number of people. Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good afternoon, whatever the neck of the woods you're in.
So let's just see. I see a comment. Oh, Kevin Callista is here. Do you know Kevin? Hi, Kevin.
It's actually one of my colleagues and mentors.
He pronounces that. Okay, hi. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, Ms. Welcome.
Thank you Yes, thank you for bearing with us. This is my first YouTube conversation. I've had a couple on Facebook and thought that I'd start with YouTube. And YouTube, of course, has a much broader reach. So I'm really excited that Jennifer had accepted my invite to have this conversation. So just gonna wait. I did put 7:10 just to be on the safe side if any glitches happen with the stream. So just gonna wait just a few more minutes, Kevin, before we start. And if it's just us here, we'll begin. Is that okay, Jennifer?
That's fantastic. That's fine.
Yeah. I have no music to play, but I will be getting situated to have some music on. I just ordered a mixer and consulting with someone. So
I'm just going to turn my phone off. Excuse me. For a minute.
Okay.
I'm going to silence my phone. As we know, all the time when we doing this Zoom or whatever, the phone goes off. It's like, oh, excuse me, 1 minute.
Yes.
We always have those little unexpected interruptions.
Yes. I think what we're going to do is just go ahead and get started, and folks will come in. So welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening for this live conversation with my guest, Miss Jennifer Dantzler. And we go way, way back in the day, as they say. And as I say, conversation, that is what is what it's going to be. We're just going to have a chit chat, and we'll be asking, you to join in and, with any questions after Jennifer and I talk. Sometimes folks, hi, Jackie. Thank you. I'm so glad you're here. It's a friend of mine.
Hi, Jackie. Welcome.
So I wanted to just begin to ask folks to like this video. That's important on YouTube. And if you'd also share it on your platform so that others can join in. And I hope you'll subscribe to the channel for more programs and shows and conversations to come. I am a performing artist, and I write one-woman shows. Hi, Sharon. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining in.
Sharon.
Dantzler, that must be your family, right?
Yes. Hi, Sharon. Hi, sister-in-law.
We're just so ecstatic and excited to do. I'm really ecstatic to have this conversation with my friend. I love her to death, and she knows it. And we go back to the early 90s, right, Jennifer?
Oh, yeah.
So before I begin, I just wanted to say that I'm a performing artist, as I was saying, and my platform is Race and Poverty. I've written 3 one-woman shows. Wrote a show on Ella for her 100th birth year anniversary, and another show celebrating Aretha Franklin. Thank you, Sapphire. Oh, I love you, Minister Sapphire. So nice. Thank you for joining in. And then the first show actually was Oh Freedom Over Me. Actually, Jennifer's been to all 3 of my shows. She's been very supportive. And the first show really catapulted me into a new destiny in life. And I wanted to use this as a platform to address race and poverty. And what I do in my one-woman shows is celebrate. Hi, Isabel. Hi, Bill. Thank you so much for coming. Is to really celebrate the historical journey of African American women, just to their struggles and what these women have passed away, and they're very historical, and it's sort of preserving history, reminding the young of what came before, who came before them, and the road that they paved for these young people to go forth and be all that they can be. So that's my platform. I am expanding it right now. Excuse me for stuttering a little bit, but I've expanded this effort to having conversations with women of color mostly, but I think that will also expand to men and to other races, because if my platform is about race, it is important that we begin to bridge the divide. But it will still be centered around race. And I do have some folks that I'm going to be inviting on to have a conversation about this. So this is my first YouTube conversation, and I'm really excited about it. With that being said, I'm going to also be doing a fundraiser with each conversation. And I hope that you'll join me in this really important fundraiser tonight to the George Wiley Center, which is a local organization that both Jennifer and I are familiar with because we were a part of this. And I'll talk about that when I read out Jennifer's bio. We were both a part of Rhode Island Parents for Progress, which was one of the organizations under the umbrella of the George Wiley Center. And the George Wiley Center has been around in Rhode Island for 40 years, and it's a statewide grassroots organization that organizes members of the low-income community to advocate for systemic changes aimed at alleviating problems associated with poverty. So as I said, my platform is Race and Poverty. And they've done a great work, and we'll talk about that, Jen, you and I throughout the course of the year because of the work that we did. So Jen and I were very involved with the social justice movement back in the 90s. Before Black Lives Matters, we were involved with issues that affected the poor. And their belief is that each person in the community is endowed with innate dignity and worth. Each deserves a decent home, adequate clothing, and nutritious food, the essential resources for intellectual and emotional development. These goals are achieved through the community education and awareness and community organizations and development. So I hope that you'll join in, and even if you have $5, that will help the George Wiley Center. They're doing a great work. We have a moratorium now where you get your utilities turned off, and it's all due to the work that they've done. Of course, they've coalesced with other organizations, but I put their website here, and also you can go on my Facebook page. There is a donate button to them, and I can't tell you how they've changed my life. I'm sure Jennifer can speak to the same, and others in the state of Rhode Island. You'd be amazed who was involved with the George Wiley Center. So it really made a big difference. So we hope that you'll join in and support them. I will be giving a donation later on this evening, and I'm going to hold
I'm going
to hold this fundraiser throughout the course of the month, and I will be doing monthly conversations. I'm scheduling one a month, and I hope that you'll continue to come back and join with me. And I'm also looking for ideas, so please feel free to comment in the chat. So let me, without further ado, I also want to say, I think I did mention if you would like and share and subscribe to this page. I think I covered that. So without further ado, I just want to introduce Jennifer. Miss Jennifer Dantzler was born and raised from humble means in New York City. And I didn't know that because I was born in New York. She spent most of her childhood in the boroughs of Queens and Brooklyn. She's been residing in Rhode Island for over 30 years. And Jennifer is a single mother of 4 handsome, intelligent, and talented men. She is known as Glammy to her 5 beautiful grandchildren. And Jennifer is a graduate of the Community College of Rhode Island with a professional background in office administration and human services. She is currently furthering her education in human services and communications. She's been a small business owner for over 7 years, providing legal services and products that protect consumers from identity theft. And that's so important, especially now, the times that we're living in. She considers this opportunity as a privilege to empower, protect, and give peace of mind to individuals, families, and small business owners. She's also a member of the Northern Rhode Island Chamber of Commerce. Congratulations, Jennifer. That's quite a big achievement. And listed as one of the business owners offering voluntary employee benefits. Jennifer believes we should live more and worry less. I love that that motto. In her previous years, Jennifer set aside time to focus and care for her children. And during this time, she became an active member of Rhode Island Parents of Progress, a statewide organization founded by the late Henry Shelton to empower and serve low-income families and long-term unemployed residents in Rhode Island. Through this effort, Jennifer found her voice in standing up and speaking out economic equality should be a right for all. And I just want to say she's been in the newspapers here in Rhode Island. So go look her up in the Providence Journal or the Evening Times in Pawtucket. Jennifer is proud to acknowledge she's the elder sister and avid supporter of Brother Gary J. Dantzler. Brother Gary is the founder of the Rhode Island chapter of Black Lives Matter, who I have contributed to. And I didn't have the information. They are not connected to the Facebook donation page, but I would definitely donate to this. There is a GoFundMe page, and I'll post it in after this conversation this evening. Jennifer is a member of the Mount Hope Community Baptist Church. She's been serving and leading in various capacities for more than 20 years, and she's currently serving on the praise and worship team. She says serving in this capacity has fulfilled a long-time dream and desire. I'm just learning new things about you each and every day, Jennifer. And singing has always been an outlet in her life. Songs help her to educate and celebrate the joy, and heal the pain. And she said she believes that there is a song for every experience, and that song will stay captured in our lives and build a lasting memory. I thought that was really beautiful. So welcome so much. And I really appreciate you, and just want to say how much I love you as a friend. And thank you for accepting my. Yeah. And I just wanted to, first of all, I didn't know you were from New York. How long were you in New York? You were born there.
Actually, I was born and raised in New York City. I was actually born in Bellevue Hospital. And
wow.
So I actually lived in New York for 18 years. Mm-hmm. So when I turned 18, I resided to Rhode Island with my firstborn. I was a very young mother at 18 years old. Yeah.
Oh, wow. 18 years old. And you know, we used to talk, let me just say, we used to talk a lot in the car. Remember Doyle Avenue? And yeah. We had our children together. They'd play together. And I never knew some of the things that you were sharing with me. So please feel free this evening to share what's on your heart. This is a fire-filled woman, you know, her brother's fire-filled. I told her it must run in the family. You know, they really have a voice for the voiceless. So, Jennifer, you said 7 years you've been providing these services. Could you tell us about these legal services and the company, and could you give us some information on that?
Sure. So this company, Legal Shield, was it's been around for 50 plus years now. I actually did not know about Legal Shield. I wish I had, you know, as a young mother, you know, I was always taken advantage of and never had an opportunity, you know, to defend myself against a lot of injustice that was happening to me as a young mother. And when I first heard about Legal Shield, I was invited out to hear some information. I was actually looking to get a will prepared for me and my children. You know, unfortunately, I had two family members that passed away, one being my mom and a younger sibling. And and then when I said neither one had a will. So I said, you know what? It's really important for me to get a will, estate planning for me and my boys, because you know, at that time we know that, you know, when, you know, sadness comes to our family, unfortunately, you know, we get really emotional and a lot of things are said, and you know, it's just what it is. It's just, it happens in families, unfortunately. And I said I just wanted my boys to remember wonderful mother that was, so that they can just share in the memory of mom. So when I heard about Legal Shield, I came out and I saw that it was an opportunity for me to get the will. I got it that same night because it made sense. I said, this is something I need. So I didn't hesitate or procrastinate. I got the service. You know, a short time after that, I knew I was going to tell people about this because I wish someone had told me, as I said. And I said, why not make a difference and make a living at the same time? So I've been with Legal Shield for the last 7 years. I protected individuals, as it said in my bio, also families, small business owners. It's just been a heaven sent to me because it's allowed me to supplement my income. I do work part-time. Well, previously before COVID, unfortunately, I was a employee at PCRI for over 10 years, and I was working with them part-time. So, of course, I was, also looking to go back, as I said, as you mentioned, excuse me, in my bio about me going back and continuing my education, human services, and communications. So I said, you know what, I want to go back and do that. Can't be at places at the same time. Although we think we're superwoman,
Oh,
some things are just impossible. So I
yeah.
said, you know what, this is an opportunity for me to go, for me to earn that extra income and also further my education, pursue my education in those areas. And it's just been a heaven sent. It's just I've traveled. I meet a lot of fantastic people. Some are on this chat with us tonight. And thank you so much for your support. And it's not only that I'm in business for myself, but I don't feel like I'm by myself because there's so much support in personal development that is just amazing. I feel guilty you're getting it all for free because seriously, it has really changed my life. It's changed my
Wow,
life.
that's wonderful. You said something, Jennifer, that's so important, in particular in communities of color. And let me just say the Black community, that we oftentimes, and particularly the elderly, they leave with a lot of chaos, a lot of burdens on the family because there's no
Yes.
will in place. And I think that's something that, we really have to make more effort with educating our communities, in particular the elderly. Now, is this particular service affordable? Is it
Well,
something?
we actually have like the share commodity. As you know, attorneys, they charge like $250 an hour, for one legal matter. This is covered. We cover pretty much everything. Pretty much everything on, for pennies on the dollars, if you will. The legal plan for individuals is $24.95, and
Okay.
that is for individuals and for families. For a family plan, it protects a child in college up to the age, I believe, of 26 years old. I can look
That's
at
a
that.
family plan. That is a family plan.
Yeah, it's the legal family
Okay, so
plan.
that could be something that a low-income family could afford.
Yes,
Would it cover the whole family, or would it
correct.
just and you would connect them with the resources or folks who are doing this? How does that work? The
Actually,
process.
I'm actually the agent for our area here, and also throughout. I'm also licensed in other parts of our country as well. But for this area here, I am the representative for the legal services, and I also identity theft protection. That's something really huge that I don't want to leave out. So
Yes.
that's also with the family plan for that, for to protect the family, the nucleus of the family. With the the legal plan and ID Shield plan is $54.90 a month, and
Okay.
an individual plan is $34.90 for a single person. But the ID
Mhm.
Shield, we call it it's identity theft protection, which our product with Legal Shield is called ID Shield
Okay.
in a legal plan. So that protects an individual for $34.90 a month.
What is identity theft in terms of their
So
identity, their
protection,
social security?
yeah. So a lot of people think that our identity theft is really about our money. Oh, but it's so much more than that. And with this service, which we call ID Shield, we protect a person's identity, like your social,
Okay.
your birth certificate, your driver's license, you know what I mean, all your personal information, where your bank if they are protecting that, they don't have the resources to do that. They will insure our money, and that's only to a certain limit. The banks will do that.
So when you say, does that include credit cards as well?
Correct.
Okay, so are they using, like, when you use your credit card, do you use like a different number? I know there's another service where you use another number instead of your credit card. Is that how that works? The identity theft program, or is it only if something happens?
No, you get alerts just like any identity theft protection plan. You will get alerts and you get alerts, and they will let you know, like if anyone has tampered with your identity, you know what I mean, or use your
Mhm.
information, open up anything. And also, we do a total restoration. So
Mhm,
we do
mhm.
monitoring. We monitor your identity, protect. We monitor your identity basically.
Okay.
So
So what is the distinction between the what the credit card company does? Like if my card is stolen
yeah,
and I call the credit card
so
company,
that's
what is the
basically your
difference?
money. They're not going to protect you if somebody goes and get a loan in your name. They're not going
Hmm.
to protect you. The banks are not going to protect you if somebody goes and get medical services in your name. You know, all those things can really reap havoc on our lives, you know, especially not to mention it could really much take us out. And there's so many stories that people who've gone and used other people's identity, their information to get medical services. And of course, they don't have the same, medical background, and they've been given medication and so on and so forth. It could be deadly.
Okay.
A
So
huge.
also, I hate that. I'm just trying to backtrack because yeah, this is important, and I think this is an important service as well. So when is this for national as well as excuse me, international as well as national?
No, we actually have a service. We have the service does cover Canada, the UK so far, and
Oh, that's
Alaska.
good.
That's all I really, yeah. So
Uh-huh.
the other outside of the US.
Okay. All right. I was just curious about that as well. And so, is there more monies attached once you need a legal advisor to assist you? Like for the will you have to pay addition to that? In addition, it's just what you've paid
You know what's
already.
so amazing is that they do it as a complimentary. You actually get
Okay.
three parts for will. You get a your living will, a power of attorney, and the last the testament. Meaning, like you get
Really
three
good.
parts of the will. So
That's really
it's
good.
that.
I didn't know that. I didn't
Yeah,
know that about Legal Shield because I always thought it was extra monies that you had to pay because you know how it is with lawyers. You always got to
sure.
pay. And is there a listing where you can see all the list of services that they assist you with?
Absolutely. I have
How
that in my website. I do have a
mm-hmm.
website where I can provide that information.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yes. And I
Oh,
think that's something that we didn't include, but I do have a website where they can go on,
okay.
where persons can go on and look at the information itself.
Okay. Okay. Do you have it on you? Is it something you can give me
Yes.
now? I can type it in.
So
www.
it's Jennifer Dantzler at wearelegalshield.com.
At the at
Yes.
sign at we are.
Wearelegalshield.com. Up there. Am I saying that right? Wait a minute. So it might be Jennifer. I'm sorry. Jennifer Dantzler legalshield.com.
Oh, dot Jennifer Dantzler dot. Okay, excuse me. I didn't get this right. I would have had a banner up for that. Okay, Jennifer Dantzler dot legal shield.
wearelegalshield.com.
We are okay. All right, we are. All right, shield.
So
SHIEL, right?
yes, it's
I
all one word.
yeah. All right. I before E except after C. Okay. All right. I'm just going to post that there, but maybe I can do a banner as well because I think that's important. I think I'll
It
even
is
go and
very,
kind of look and see what those services are. That's to be able to see because you never know who has needs out there right now.
absolutely.
So for criminal law, I mean, are there criminal lawyers, defense lawyers available as well?
Well, actually, what's like, okay, like a thing, something like a DUI, for instance. We know sometimes good people do bad things, right? Because that's just who we are as human beings. So
Mhm.
we don't, you can get advice and consultation, but in any situation that the attorneys have to go into court with you, they will charge you for that. Like you do get like
Mhm.
a discount, like a preferred members discount on that. And that,
Mm-hmm.
that's just dependent on the each attorney's retainer, whatever they charge. You'll get a
Okay.
25% discount just for having a legal plan.
Okay. So there are discounts
Yes, and
available
we
for.
do understand things like that does require for you to go to court. Things
Okay.
like adoption, divorce as well. We do, and unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
in a perfect world, everybody stays married, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But as we know that unfortunately people do divorce, and people find it's amazing that we do cover that as well. We do that like on a 90-day like basis, like within you having a plan. It's
Mm-hmm.
like a 90-day waiting period. And
Mm-hmm.
it just, if it's a contested divorce, it's like you do have to pay again like a 25% members discount. But if it's like uncontested, meaning nobody's fighting for the kids, and you just feel like you want to part ways with each other and everybody's being
Mm-hmm.
cordial, the divorce is covered.
So, Jennifer, for someone who might not understand how all that works for them, would you be able to help them and walk them through the process if
Absolutely.
they were interested? Okay, so and you can pretty much
Absolutely.
spell out what they would be able to get and not get and obtain. That's good.
Absolutely.
And I know you're you're a woman of integrity and honesty. So that's very reassuring. So for folks who might even want to contact Jennifer a little bit more about this, I put her email address on the screen. And you can email her. And if you want to leave your number for her to get back to you, she will. And I didn't want to put her number on the screen because we are on YouTube. So I didn't want to put her. So, but I did put her email address. So, and plus there is her, I put the website up as well. So I just want to, okay, go ahead, Jennifer. Did you want to say something?
Anybody who has any questions or concerns, please contact me, and I'll be willing to, lead you in the right direction. My desire is just to, I know it sounds crazy, but protecting service people. And, some people, unfortunately, don't hold up to those words, but I do.
Yeah.
My integrity stands for it. So that is my desire, is to improve the lives of many.
So we'll come back to legal shields in a few, but I just want to kind of get into some of the nitty gritty of you and our relationship and back in the day.
I might have to have a sip of water on that one.
I guess Jennifer and I used to do a lot of various activities, you might say, for the Rhode Island Parents of Progress and
Good trouble.
Good trouble. Yes, John Lewis would have loved us. That was good trouble we got into, and it was so fulfilling. And I think it really gave us more of the drive of what we do today. For those of you that don't know, I just turned 60. For my friends that's on here, and
look fabulous, girl.
God is good. Okay, He's good, and I just remember all how my life just developed over the past years from where I was at as a single mom and divorced and trying to take care of my son and trying to go back to school and work. And it was just really, really tough. But then I met Henry Shelton and I met other members of the agency that he was involved. And I realized I had a voice. And I'm sure, Jennifer, you can speak to that. Am I correct? What was your experience there? My life was never the same after that encounter.
I guess that kind of led me into the direction where I am today, and having that desire to make a difference in people's lives. And, especially we look at single parents, we look at single moms, especially because let's face it, we're the ones we unfortunately left holding all the responsibility, kind of left holding the bag. When it comes to our families, we are, the backbone of our families. Whether we're single families or whole family, if you will, with two parents. When I came into the George Wiley Center and I met Mr. Shelton with the Parents of Progress, he was always motivated, just ready to fight for the parents, ready to fight for the moms, right? Because many of us didn't have a voice. I know for myself, certainly I didn't have a voice at that time in my young life as being a young mom, a young single parent. And, and I felt very alone and very, very, defenseless at many times. I didn't know where to go for help. When I walked in, my eyes were open. Like, you know what? There's hope for you. You have somebody who cares, and you have a voice. We're going to show you how to use that voice. And I learned how to use that voice with the George Wiley Center, and that's why I met you. And you were just on fire as well, Miss Cheryl. And you are you were, and you still are an inspiration to me.
Oh.
And I don't want to cry because I got a lot of mascara on, a lot of eye makeup.
You were my inspiration, and all the other women.
Amazing. And I held on to every your words and your movement. It's like, look at her go. And you like, let's get in the car. We got to go this. We got to go here. We got to go pick up. And we was with the kids and we were just going. The kids that were in school, she was like, okay, Jennifer, it's time for us to go. This is the time, and we were just moving and shaking. But we weren't just moving and shaking just, for our own efforts. We were making a difference in the lives of many parents out there. We were fighting for so many different causes, like for utilities, for preventing utilities being shut off, for having breakfast,
clothes for women to
go back and
to go back to work. Yeah,
it was so much going on at the time.
Yeah. And breakfast for our children. Imagine having to fight for your children to eat. Amazing. Now it's statewide, it's but we were the catalyst. So it's amazing. We also have lost a lot of ground that we gained back then. It's just kind of got stripped away, and it just shows that you still have to continue to fight and stay up on these things.
So true.
Yeah. So, so that experience, how do you compare it to what's going on today in the country, as well as, we see there are a lot of evictions happening. I was excited to have this conversation with you because I knew where you at then and where we're at now. We see a lot of evictions happening. A lot of people are at wit's end. A lot of suicides. Suicides have increased during this time. And statistics, I really apologize, but I did hear that. And just with everything going on with COVID-19, healthcare is an issue. The very things that we fought very hard for back then seems to continue to be the same struggles today, and just the whole economics of it all, people being able to sustain their lives. What would you say? Is there anything that insights that you have around what's going on? Is the world different? Well, it is different, but how different is it to you compared to then?
It's different, but in a sense is that I think people's eyes are more open now. I'm not just saying that it's more apparent of what's going on around us. I can know back then it was like a lot of people were afraid to stand up and speak out. Because just in fear of being like not accepted or being an outcast, being outcasted by certain group of people or community of people or individuals of people. But today, how I see it is that we need to continue to stand up and speak out. We need to, like they say now, you see something, say something.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
I remember even, and shamefully to say that, and I can see someone who was being taken advantage of, even in my place of work at one point. You know, I'm not going to name the place of work, of course, but yeah, and it was like, you know, that's a shame. See, you know, I feel that they're targeting this young black male because he is such. And you know, and they were having him doing unnecessary things, you know, as he report into work, you know, and it was like it was discouraging. And then I found, you know, and I always tell him, you know what, keep your head up and you keep coming to work. When you leave this job, make sure you go to another job that's better, but don't leave it if you don't have anything else. But what I'm saying is that people are very becoming very discouraged right now, you know, but there is a lot of help, a lot of resources. Again, they can reach out to us as we were, you know, the George Wiley Center. There's so many different agencies that's willing to help, you know, and you know, we have to just tap into the resources. And that's another thing. A lot of times, you know, we don't want to, you know, let people know what's going on. You know, you know, and it's important because if we don't let people know, then how can we get the help? You know, for me, Cheryl, I'm a spiritual person. You know, I feel as though I'm led by the Spirit in prayer for people, and God tells me, you know, not only that we should pray, but we should be doers of the word.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Not just hearers. So if I know somebody who's suffering or is in need of something, is lacking, whatever they're lacking, you know, if I can help, and I may not personally be able to help, but I can lead you to other resources. And I think that's so important for us to stay connected with each other. You know, stay involved and stay connected with people.
Yeah.
You know?
You said something really important too, I think, to what we experienced. And Sharon, I have your question I'm going to give to Jennifer as well. I see it. It's right here. But am I my brother's keeper? Am I my sister's keeper? To me, yes, we are. We have to help each other, and it just has a ripple effect on our world around us and the communities that we live in. And I know people don't think of I'm going to serve myself and my family, and that's it. But there's so much more. There's so much more to our world and our perspective and our surroundings. And we make a difference. When we make a difference in one person's life, we also are able, it has a reciprocal effect, a reciprocal effect on our families and our lives, So Sharon wants to know, where do you see yourself in 5 years, Jennifer?
Where do I see myself in 5 years? Well, actually, right now, I'm currently working on getting my own home, purchasing my own home. So, being in my home, entertaining. I love to entertain family and friends. That is something. I am a person and servant at heart. So I look forward to serving you all in my new home, and giving you my warm hospitality. My also goal is to increase my business. I didn't mention, Cheryl, within Legal Shield, we have actually have a division just for women. And these women are very empowering, what we do, because a lot of, like I said, as a young mother, I wish someone could tell me I could have my own business. So we also offer an opportunity for, within Legal Shield, we have a division for women and anybody who wants to become an associate too, that, would like to be a small business owner. We are in network marketing and sales, and, and it's a lot of training. It's not a lot of training, but there's training. So we don't just put you out there and say, go get them, Tiger. There's a lot of personal development that we offer and a lot of training. And I am one of them, so if you want to know more about that as well. So I would love to, empower other women by showing them how they can become an entrepreneur as well.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy you mentioned that, because you had mentioned one of the things when we were talking by phone, that this is part of your goal to inspire other young women, in particular young single parents, that they should not let anything stifle their destiny or what am I trying to say? I'm trying to get the right
Goals,
word. In other words, that they
goals
should
and dreams.
their dreams, and that the sky can be the limit for them, no matter
Absolutely.
what their situation is. And I think you and I are a testimony to that. Not that I've achieved everything I want, but I mean, who would have thought anything would happen in my life of singing and coming back? So he gives us the desires of our
Amen.
hearts. Yeah. And so so in the next 5 years, you want to own your own home. You want to expand your business. I know you have talked a lot, and you said that you're going to be getting more engaged with social platforms like YouTube and
Absolutely.
workshops.
I did
Yeah.
my first live Facebook today, and I was like, I was so nervous. I was like so much nervous as I am right now. I was like outside. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And first, all they saw was the car. It's like, what is she doing?
Well, that's good.
But I eventually, something said, hit the camera. So I hit the camera. I guess the spirit was with it. God was like, hit the camera, Jennifer. You know, yeah. So I was actually promoting tonight. Yes, and actually, I was actually sharing a training, devotion today, as if you will. It was about crow, right? A crow and an eagle, crow and an eagle.
All right.
So basically, it was it's about the crow is always picking at us, right? Picking at the eagle, right? And so it's like, you know, the eagle continues to fly on and fly until he gets high, so fly that he gets away from the crow, right? So, you know, the metaphor is basically, you know, whatever dreams and goals you have in life, you know, we're going to have a lot of people that's going to be a lot of naysayers. A lot of people's going to continue to pick at us, and some of those naysayers, it's not because they're trying to hurt us. I actually think that, you know, as entrepreneurs, that we're wasting our money, we're wasting our time, you know, and they don't see the dream. They don't see the goal that you have in mind. You know, everything that I said, I've already seen myself in the house entertaining you guys. I already seen myself in my home, you know, just looking out, you know, on my deck, you know what I mean, of my home. I already see someone actually right now, I'm looking to get my autobiography in place. I see people reading my book and commenting. So this is all coming into play. It's only, you know, by God's perfect divine.
And,
you know,
she means literally that some things are coming into play, because you shared one of those things today, which you don't have to share now, but I'm like, wow, okay.
It's actually long overdue, Cheryl. Long overdue.
Yeah. So I was wondering, now we talked, I mentioned in your bio, Gary Dantzler is your brother, Black Lives Matter. And God bless Brother Gary for what he's doing. Yes. His name has been tremendous work. It's a tough work, and
it is.
We want to support him. Have you been involved with him at all in any of these matters?
Oh, absolutely. He actually invited me out a couple of months ago when he actually did Black Lives Matter, that features just Black women lives matter, and there were some powerful women out there speaking. We had so many women that came out and spoke on the behalf of the lives of Black women. Their lives matter because, you know, and it's not to, you know, segregate or anything or take, you know, take away from any other race, but you know, we are affected in certain ways. We you know, we have different situations and things that we, you know, that unfortunate that we have to overcome or that we dealt with. You know, for myself as a young Black mother, things that I had to overcome, things that struggles that I had to, you know, go through. Just getting decent housing for my children. You know what I mean? Looking down upon because I was single. You know what I mean? And I had these 4 boys. and it was very tough for me. It was everywhere. Sometimes it was just a closed door. When I remember before renting an apartment and normal wear and tear, I had to pay like $3,000 back, which I didn't really have. I was working full time, but it was only one income. And life was very hard. It was very difficult, at the time. So, well, and these women came out, getting back to Black Women Lives Matter. I'm so very happy he did that. And I love him dearly for him. I respect him so much for doing that and putting, putting the light on the lives of Black women,
and
and their
not only
struggles and things.
Also, I was talking with a friend a few weeks back. He's involved with homelessness.
Yes.
He's been meeting with someone from the homeless community because they were telling me, they said, "Do you know Gary?" I said, "Oh yeah, I know him." Said, "Yeah, well, I'm meeting with him." So
Awesome.
this thing goes far beyond just dealing, and it's really up my alley. Not kind of, I can't get out there and march like I used to. Again, I'm getting older. I can't get out there and do the things I used to do. But I really can support in other ways, and I will continue to support Black Lives Matters in Rhode Island because it does matter. And like I said, we understand that, but there's a white family across the way from me that put a beautiful thing: all lives won't matter until Black lives matter. And I love that.
And
that same family has a whole door, and they have a little.
Isn't that awesome?
They have a whole door of Black history, heroes on their door for people to take. And I took one of each, and I'm going to put it on my door. I'm going to actually share it on my Facebook page, the picture. It's amazing.
Wow.
Great people, and they're raising their daughter to understand this. And
amen. That is so awesome.
And other people came by and took a picture and put Black Lives. Not everybody, of course, but there were others that put Black Lives Matters on their doors. So
that is so amazing.
Each one reaches one.
That's right.
And the bottom line is that that we really get this right. I believe that there are some things happening in the spiritual realm. Maybe not everybody on here agrees with that or believes in that, but I do think there are some spiritual happenings taking place right now. We have to be very prayerful for a united effort in all of this. Yeah, that what's right, just, and true.
That's right.
So, Jennifer, is there any questions in the chat? Does anyone have something to say? I don't want to go on and on. And Jennifer, is there anything else that you want to share with others?
And just in what you were saying, Cheryl, in regards to the Black Lives Matter, a lot of people, even some, even just being caught with that saying, Black Lives Matter. And then people say, well, all lives matter. And it was just basically just taken away from the struggle and the how would you say, the unjust, the oppression, that Black people have faced throughout years, throughout so many years, and we still do, but it's just in different terms. You know what I mean? Like it's just like it's how could you say, it's in our jobs. You know what I mean? It's in when we go for a loan we go for a loan for a home, for a car, all of these things. It does play a part in that, because it's like Black people, the Black race, they see us as being incompetent, like we don't matter. Like we're always, you see a Black person where they feel as though they're there's something with them. You know what I mean? In a sense, like they're up to something, and it's usually something that's not a good something. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate. They see us as aggressive, and that's, I think it's because, Black people have expressed aggression because of, a lot of suppression that, and a lot of injustice has happened to us. And, and why is it so many Black families that looks like, and in some of our communities, they look like a third world country, like in different parts of our country here, like in Alabama, New Orleans. Is, you know what I mean? And I can remember when, you know, when the flood happened, I thought I was watching something in Africa at one point, because just because of the way the people were left over there and the way the people were living, it's horrible. It's horrible, and it shouldn't be, you know, in the time that we are living in these days. So much poverty that's still here in the United States. You know what I mean? And again,
there is
you know,
still
with housing, I'm very passionate about, you know, affordable housing. Why do we continue to keep putting affordable housing in areas that's, you know, that's highly affected with drugs and crime? Why do we continue to build houses in those areas? Because it seems to me, my personal opinion, my humble opinion, that history can repeat itself with, you know, with people, you know, unfortunately selling drugs. You know, we have people you know, that will find means to eat. You know, I remember dating this guy. He would say, you know, babe, we will eat. And I'm like, okay. You know, he would always say that to me. You know, he was just that kind of character. But you know what? Everybody wants to eat. You know what I mean? And I just see so much going on within our communities, and people, and with the government, they'll say, well, you know, we are putting housing there, you know, and we're putting affordable houses, but they continue to put it in the areas right in where you know, where crime continues to happen. You know what I mean? In the school system, the same way. It's just so much to be said in these areas. What's going on in our school system? You know, I remember watching this movie called Saving Superman, and it was basically about the inner city schools. That opened to my eyes. I had an aha moment like never before in my life, and this happened several years ago. And I was like, whoa. And it went back to me growing up, you know, in the New York City school system, and seeing what was, you know, how it all played out. And it wasn't a pretty picture. It did not have our children's education at heart at all, in their best interest at all.
That's why keeping the history, preserving the history, and there's Josiah. I don't know if you know Josiah Dantzler. So I preserving our history is really important, and making sure that our young people know the history of the struggle of what our people have gone through, and how do we preserve and maintain and go forward, keep moving forward. I agree with you that a lot of stuff is sort of hidden, and we can do better. It's the lack of resources. We don't have the resources available here to do that. Like, we have to really struggle just to get money, just to fundraise. Things have really, really changed. I see a lot of changes more so in comparison. And we were more willing to give when we had, I mean, back then, the more the struggle, the more we gave. It's really, there's been a lot of changes since then. But Jennifer, it was something I wanted to ask you about. I do want to bring up a memory that they didn't have breakfast in the schools here, all the schools except, and then there was let's not even name towns, okay? But there was a town, and we went into this town. They wouldn't feed the children. There were children who weren't going to be able to get breakfast, you know, and families were surviving off of food stamps, or they actually had to go to work early in the morning, and it was a free program that was paid for, and they didn't want to do it because they had a philosophical, that's why I said it's the same old situation today. Difference that kids should eat at home. And we said, but we can make this available because it's one of the most important meals of the day. Science is saying something a little different now. Then science says this is the most important meal of the day, and they didn't want to hear about science. Okay. And we had to go and put breakfast bowls on the table. Remember?
We actually went to the state, Miss Cheryl. You actually made me go out in my pajamas, girl. We were out in pajamas, and we had bowls and spoons, Cheryl. Come on now.
And then this wonderful costume shop in this town gave us serial character costumes. Remember? Oh,
It was
boy,
a time.
memories.
Time. Even, and I think we went there in the evening and said we were going to spend the night. We're going to have breakfast because we want our breakfast in.
Oh, we would be at the utility company until you turn this person's utilities back on. We're going to be here.
That's right.
We're going to spend the night here. We went to the PUC. Remember, we went to the PUC. So
it was the time. Yes.
Thank you for joining us. Oh, I just want to interject. We're going to be probably leaving anyway. It's at 8 o'clock. But if you can donate to the George Wiley Center, $5, $2, whatever you can. Please, I had the information up here that you can send it. You can actually go on their website, or you can go on my Facebook page and there's a donate button. Every dollar counts, every penny counts. So please make a donation this evening to them. I'll be making my donation, as well. Jennifer, any parting words? We're on the 8 o'clock mark. Any parting words?
Already? Wow, time passes me having fun.
We'll have to do it again.
Again, anybody who wants some information about what I do, please contact me. I'd love to speak with you to hear whatever concerns, questions that you may have. Please reach out. And also, as we continue to live and grow, let's continue to connect with each other and love each other. It's so important. Please pray for me. I look forward to just making a difference in our communities out there. When you see me, please come and support. Because honestly, guys, it's not about me anymore, but it's about our future. I'm very, very much concerned about our future leaders. So please come out and let's better lives for them, better the life of our future.
Yes. And again, Jennifer's email address is on the screen, jennyd7749@gmail.com. Please email her to know more about the services she was talking about earlier. And if you missed any of this, you can also go back and listen to the video. It will be up. And please share it with others. This is important, in particular our community, because, it's always these legal issues that get us tied up, and it seems that it can be affordable, and Jennifer can explain more in detail with you based on what your needs might be or your family's needs might be. So I really urge you to look into this program and just see what it's all about, and maybe share it with others that you know as well. I want to thank you again for joining with us. We don't want to take a long time. Jennifer and I can talk forever, okay?
Oh, yeah.
I want to also ask that you would like this video, that you would share it, and that you would subscribe to my channel, because there'll be up and coming things taking place. I am a performing artist, so I do have some plans to put my shows on YouTube with the PowerPoint presentations, and I think you'll be intrigued. I think you'll enjoy it. I'm looking at Ella now, and then maybe my first show. So please subscribe to the channel just to stay updated. I'm gonna start doing a lot more with YouTube. I haven't been doing it in the past. And I see another comment. Let me just go back to it and see if there's any. Oh, John Killer, we don't know who you are. Do you know John Killer?
I don't. Well,
okay.
See.
I don't know who John Killer is.
Well, sure. I want to thank you for allowing me to share this platform with you today in this time, just to share a little bit about my background and my future. I look so forward to continue my future with you. I know life takes us in so many different directions, but you've been so amazing in my life. And I just thank you for always being a friend.
Oh, I
and a
love
leader.
it.
I
Thank
thank you
you
so
for
much for
being a
being a
friend.
leader.
It goes both ways. And Sharon, listen, Sharon, that is the great final word for the evening. Vote, okay?
Yeah, that's right.
Everybody needs
Vote.
to vote and
Absolutely.
vote
That's enough.
right.
Thank you, Sharon. So,
Things that are
don't
right
forget to vote.
true. So
Absolutely.
thank you, everyone. We really appreciate you.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
Jennifer.
much, everybody, for tuning in with us.
You can actually stay, okay, in the back. Okay, I'm going to tune us out, but you can stay in the back. I'm going to end the broadcast, but you can stay on, okay? Jennifer?
Okay.
All right.
Bye. Thank you.